Hello, Neil. So
Hi,
glad,
Michelle.
so glad I have an opportunity to chat with you today. Our Rosenbaum Pomularo family is very excited to get to know you. So we appreciate your time that you
Absolutely.
for this interview today. And I'm just going to jump right in with my first question, which is, what kind of law do you practice?
Trial law. That's the short answer. I'm a litigator. I have been my entire career. When it comes down to a conflict that can't be resolved without the involvement of the judicial system, that's where I step in. It's a matter of advocating, arguing, and representing the client's rights in the courtroom, in state and federal court, and alternative dispute resolution, and getting them the best result possible in an adversarial situation.
Fantastic. And how long have you been practicing this type of law?
I've been admitted since 1997, and I've been trying cases since 1997. Federal court, state court, from the lowest to the highest, small claims to the Court of Appeals, district courts in multiple states, and every aspect of alternative dispute resolution in front of the AAA and mediators across the state, the East Coast, in fact. It was always my goal from before I even started law school to become a trial attorney. That's the aspect of the law that I really find the most rewarding. It's fun to do it. The responsibility is significant. The conflict turns some people off, but it's a competition, and that's what I get the best result and the best feedback from for myself is enjoying that competition while representing and advocating for my clients.
That's fantastic. You jumped right into my next question, which is what is the thing that you love most about what you do?
Oh, absolutely trying cases. Litigating is 80% preparation and then 20% actual execution, I'd say. But when that 20% happens, it's worth it. That's when the rubber really meets the road, when things get exciting and we're able to do what we do best, which is to really show the fact finder, whether that be a judge, a jury, or an arbitrator or mediator, that we have the better argument, that we are in the best position, and that way we can convince them to make the right decision from a position of strength. We don't have to come into a situation with one hand tied behind our back. With the support we have and the base we have at Rosenbaum Famularo, Amazon sellers are entitled to and will receive the best advocate, counseling, and litigation representation in the world.
There's no doubt about that. And having you join the team, it just reinforces that even further.
That's great. I feel the same way.
Okay, so I'm going to take a step back and get a little bit more into your head and would love to know who have been your mentors and what have they taught you?
My greatest mentor is probably my high school football coach. And he taught me never play scared. You're just going to get hurt. Come out with everything you've got and leave everything you've got on the field. And that's what I do in my practice. I bring everything to bear on behalf of my clients, and I leave everything in the courtroom. We're going to go completely 100% to the wall for any client we represent. That's the only way to do it. We handle every case exactly the same way from start to finish, whether it's a small matter or the biggest matter we've ever handled. They all get the same attention and they all get treated and handled in the exact same way with 100% commitment and zealous advocacy.
That's fantastic. And kudos to your mentor for setting you on the right path and giving you the right mentality for the work that you do today. All right, so there's a flip side to everything. If there was something that you would change about being an attorney, what would that be?
I would, if I could change the system or alter my career in a way, it would be such that I spent all my time in the courtroom as opposed to in the office. If that were, that's ideally, and in some instances I have. There have been times where, you can go from trial to trial to trial, back to back to back, and that takes weeks, sometimes months at a time for each trial. And of course, there's prep work in between, but it's at that high level of anxiety and pressure that's right on the verge of being bad, but it's still really good. And you have to be able to produce and to an extent perform. I have to convince these people that we're in the right. I have to do that based on what I have, what ammunition I'm given, the facts of each case. So preparing for and actually executing the trials and the mediations, the arbitration, the actual adversarial proceeding itself, I would make that the 80% instead of the 20% and avoid some of the office time if I could. But that's the way things work.
Mm-hmm. Neil, you are no wallflower.
No one's ever accused me of that.
Okay, that's great. All right, so getting more specific around Amazon sellers, how would you advise an Amazon seller who's facing litigation for the first time?
First of all, don't wait. Time is the enemy of every party and every attorney involved in litigation. If you sit on your hands and you don't act quickly to protect your rights by hiring Amazon sellers, lawyers, hiring Rosenbaum Famularo to protect your rights, you're going to be in a bad position when you have to hire somebody later. Act quickly to get representation from somebody who knows what they're doing, like us, who've handled hundreds of claims with Amazon, Amazon merchants, Amazon sellers. That's what we do. Don't wait. Don't think you can handle it on yourself. When you get word, usually it's going to be a temporary restraining order that's going to shut down your storefront, your listing, and could actually affect your entire presence online. Your money is going to be locked up. Everything you have in their warehouse is going to be locked down. And the plaintiff in the lawsuit, if that's what happens when you're getting served with that temporary restraining order, they're going to go back to the court and ask to turn that into a permanent injunction. So the longer you wait without addressing it, the worse things will get. Act quickly is the most important aspect of it. Get yourself a good lawyer, and that's us.
Absolutely. So step one, as soon as any Amazon seller gets into any sort of trouble with Amazon, is to go to Google, write Amazon sellers lawyer. We will pop right up, click, and just reach out, use the number, or schedule a consultation, and someone's going to get in touch with you ASAP. So back to you. What made you decide to join Rosenbaum Famularo, the law firm?
I've actually known CJ Rosenbaum for essentially my entire life. We've been friends since elementary school, and we reconnected. Had always been relatively close and stayed friends, but weren't calling each other every weekend or anything like that. And then we both ended up going into the same practice in the same area, in the same city, litigating cases in New York, and we would run into each other pretty regularly. And there came a time when we actually represented different parties in the same lawsuit, and we went to trial with Corey and I on one side and 5 other lawyers, a couple of hotshots, on the other. And we came out on top. We did a great job working together, and it really seemed to mesh well. At the time, I was working for a firm here on Long Island. I'd been there for a while, and unfortunately, things changed. They don't work out. So it became time for me to go away and do something differently. I went out on my own, started my own shop, and for several years had a nice niche practice. And then Corey reached out, and I learned about what he was doing, did a little research, talked to him, did a lot more research, looked into the firm, met with everyone involved, with his partners Rob and Anthony, and saw what a great job he's done growing the firm and the excellent work he's done representing Amazon sellers, protecting their rights, getting their storefronts and their listings back up and getting them their money, resolving claims against them, asserting claims on their behalf when other people are infringing on their rights. And I just knew that with that opportunity, once it came up, Corey reached out to me to take on the role of heading up the litigation department and expanding that aspect of the practice so that we now are even better prepared to take the case to the next level, as opposed to arbitrating with Amazon, mediating, settling cases. Now we have the full spectrum of every tool and weapon available in any situation, whether it's a copyright infringement, trademark infringement claim, any aspect of intellectual property infringement that our sellers and our clients get involved in, we're able to address. We don't have to sit back and just try to settle cases. We're on the offensive. We're the strong ones. We're going to come into these matters prepared because we've handled them before and we know what we're doing. We're going to come in aggressive and we're going to come in hot, and we're going to protect the rights of the people who we represent, because in the end, they're the ones who are being done wrong. We know that we're on the right side. We've got clients who are great sellers, doing a great job, doing everything they can for their clients to protect their brand and run a tight ship. And we are going to help them keep that store open no matter what, whether it takes going to court, an injunction, a restraining order, or fighting against any of those things. That's what we're going to do for our clients.
Absolutely. You sound like the heavyweight champions in the ring.
We're that and more.
Fantastic. Okay. So what are you looking to tackle first? It sounds like you have already undertaken quite a bit. You've been clearly thinking about this. Is there anything that you're very excited to get going from the get-go?
Absolutely. There's already such a strong foundation at Rosenbaum Famularo with a tremendous staff and great lawyers already working on it. I'm just coming in as part of that team, and I'm going to build on what they've laid down. The foundation they've laid is sound, it's strong, and we're just going to build from there. So I'm happy to take the cases that we have on behalf of clients already in litigation and ramp those up. We're going to be the aggressors. We're going to take the fight to them. We're not going to wait. We're not going to see what happens, just like sellers shouldn't when they get served with that TRO. You have to act fast. And once you hire us, we're going to act fast for you. It's speed, agility, and aggression that gets the upper hand in the first stages of a lawsuit, especially in federal court. And the majority of these actions are venued in federal court. There are arguments we can make that have to be integrated into what we're doing now that can sometimes lead to a dismissal of the case right at the outset. If the plaintiff hasn't done their diligence, if the plaintiff has not laid the proper foundation to bring our clients into a specific venue or a specific court, we can get that case removed, brought into the right venue, or in many cases, dismissed outright. So it's not just a matter of a resolution where everyone has to grit their teeth and take a little bit of a hurt. No, we're going to bring, in the right cases, we're going to be the aggressors now. That's what I'm bringing to this firm.
Great, great. Sounds like Amazon sellers are well equipped now and have a strong force on their side.
Absolutely.
All right. So again, a little bit more about you. Do you have any sort of inspirational quote that you live by, or an ethos that keeps you going and fighting every single day?
I do, in fact, and it goes back to high school football again. My coach, the biggest mentor I've had in my life, our credo was pride, poise, and commitment. We're proud of what we do and the way we do it. We keep our poise under pressure, and we're committed to our cause. That's how we won games. That's how we acted as a team, and that's what I bring to every case I handle. We're proud of our position. We're not going to back down. We've got nothing to hide. We're poised to respond to every act and to assert every tool that we have to make these cases result favorably in our clients' favor. We want to bring these results home for them, but we need to remain cool and calm, and remember, let the other side get flustered, because it's not going to be us. We're going to keep our poise, and we're committed to giving the best representation, the best counsel, and the most zealous, strong defense of our clients' rights that's possible to get.
Sounds very strategic.
Absolutely. It's spelled out. It's basic PPC. It's served me well over the years, and it's applicable to just about every situation.
Great. I have one more question for you.
Sure.
And this response does not need to be commercial, meaning it doesn't necessarily have to be related to your profession. It can be, but curious to see if you had the opportunity to put a message up on a billboard that the whole world could see, what would it say?
Be kind to each other. Kindness goes a long way. I know it may sound a little ironic. I've sat here for 20 minutes now explaining how much I like conflict and adversarial situations, but those are fine. There's no reason for it to be angry or personal or acrimonious. We can resolve these situations even when there is going to be a loser, and somebody's got to lose in litigation.
Mhm.
So they're not conflicting
Mm-mm.
themes.
No.
There's a way to live your life where you can be aggressive in your own defense and on your own behalf without being cruel, mean, or dishonest. And those are the things we have to avoid in our personal relationships, our business relationships, and all relationships, really. People should just be better towards each other. It would be a nicer place to live if that was the rule that was followed.
Yes, yes. And it's a very nice thing to have as your ethos and your operating value set, because even though you're doing work that, like you said, may come across as aggressive, your underlying purpose is to get justice. And you're going to do it in a way that garners respect, but then is also, it's just, and it's also kind. It's not, dirty hits or anything like that. So there's a lot of
Exactly right.
integrity and value in the work that you do. And it sounds like a perfect match with the firm, with Rosenbaum Famularo. So welcome again. So glad to have you part of our community. And I look forward to talking to you again. Maybe in another video, we can get into more of the details of the work that you're doing.
That sounds great, Michelle. I look forward to it. And I couldn't be happier than to be here right now.
Okay, thank you again.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.